again, history lovers and old house fans. Thanks for coming back to watch another episode of Abandoned Houses of Southampton County, Virginia. This is Tom Fretz, the Virginia Picker, and I'd like to thank you all so much for subscribing and for sharing and for watching this channel. I appreciate it very much, and I really enjoy your comments. It's obvious that you guys have a lot of knowledge of history and the old ways and the old things, and you have the same passion for these things that I have, so that makes it a lot of fun for me. And I really wish that I could take more time to reply to your comments and questions. I hope to do that at some point, but life has been really busy for me lately. Many of you know my daughter Emma, and you know that I try to help with her projects. I'm also repairing my cabinet shop and renovating a house that I intend to sell, as well as actually trying to make a living in the construction business. I'm trying to make time to salvage old buildings and save interesting pieces of local history when I can. And I'm also involved with my church and my family. So there's never enough time, and I'm sure you guys all have the same challenges. So I really do appreciate it when you all take the time to watch and leave a comment. I also want to say thanks to my daughter Emma for jump-starting my channel. And if you found my channel without Emma's help, you might be the only one, and you should check out her channel. Her channel is Emma Shaye, that's EMMA space SHAYE. And she's renovating an old general store and post office that was built around 1900 and making it into a home. She's finding lots of old interesting things, so you should check it out. In today's episode, we are touring another old abandoned farmhouse, and we actually have several encounters with local wildlife. So please watch and enjoy. Look at those old vines around that tree. Old television set. We'll go up there in a minute. Interesting coffee table. Somebody left their Sunday tie. These are the remnants of the front porch roof. See if I can get back under this stairwell. There's a big old wooden trunk. This would have been the front door coming into this entry, where we have the steps going to the upstairs and the living room over there with the mantle, fireplace. Again, you can see from a distance here the black streaks on those risers, where I guess maybe they were trying to make it look like marble at some point. It's very faded now, and the grain shows through of the wood. Thinking they were probably trying to make that look like marble. Second flight of steps to the upstairs. And there are 10,000 honeybees over there. I can hear them and I can see them. I'm not sure if you can see them on the video. There's an old iron bed. You can see they have the picture rail, or in this case maybe better called a hook rail. They've got nails in there to hang things on. And this is just the space at the top of the steps between the room on the left and the room on the right. This is the room on the right. They do have some nice hooks there. So coming up to the top of the steps, we have a step up into this room. And I'm not sure if that was a mistake or if they wanted some more headroom downstairs, but this was added on because here you see the gap between the walls. On the left is the original part of the house, and on the right is what was added. There was a fireplace opening there. They've bricked it up except for a small opening, and then they've got that closed off. Beadboard on the ceiling, and you can see right up into the attic. If this part wasn't in such bad shape, I would be tempted to crawl up there and see if there are any carpenter's markings on the rafters or the ridge beam. Okay, last room. There's the honeybee window. They are busy. Oh, I see where the nest is, right there in that corner inside the wall. And I'm not sure how they would react to me. And I'm not sure I want to find out. Sure, there's some honey in that wall, or will be. This was probably a nice room. It's got little panels under the windows. Still an old mantel there, very plain, but this is where the chimney fell that we looked at the beginning. So that would have been the fireplace there, and then chimney coming up behind that mantel. That floor right there is gone, and I don't really want to get too far in here. So here you can see the size of the ceiling joist. And you can hear a red-tailed hawk outside, but that is about 2.5 inches wide, about 8 inches tall. And then up here, you can see the hand-hewn rafters. I'm guessing this house is late 1800s. There's a lot going on in that corner. You can see where the handrail was. Again, you can see the old hand split wood plaster lath. I just can't imagine how long people took just to make that. Back again at the front door and looking down into the crawl space. There's a little guy who's probably been down there for a long time. Couple old door panels out of one of these doors that's laying on the floor. These door panels always seem to survive. Must have been made from very dense wood. There's the old fuse box, probably 60 amp. They didn't use much power back in the day. Typical today for a house is 200 amp and more for some larger houses. Not much left here of any value. I'm sure pickers have been through here, salvage hunters, for years and years. I actually had permission to salvage here last year, and I got an old ceramic wash tub and I think an old metal gas can. May have gotten a few other little items, but pretty much everything's gone at this point. I have read and heard that a lot of these brick are handmade. Some of them in the really old houses came from England. They were made in England and they were used as ballast to keep the ship upright at sea, and then were sold for building materials when they got here. This one's got a lot of burn on it. I don't know if that's from being used here or if that was baked in at the beginning, but that's a very dark brick. I bet a guy could find some interesting stuff if he was willing to crawl into that house. A lot of debris, but you might find a few old bottles, coins, jewelry, who knows. I think I'll leave that for someone else. There's the Christmas stocking for the cat. It's pretty small. This is the main door into the house, which I think would have been the main front entrance. You can see there was at some point a light on each side of that door. The one on the left was still there. I salvaged that a year or two ago whenever I was here. It's a really cool copper light that I now have on a cabinet in my shop that I'm working on, which I will hopefully finish one day. There's the first carpenter bee I've seen this year. Looking for his first meal, probably. Looks like there's a groundhog been at work here. There he is. I did not expect that. That is funny. Hey, little guy. Did I interrupt you? He's calm as he can be. I hope he's not ready to attack. That is so funny because I did not see him. I think he popped his head up when I started talking. Hey, buddy. Oh, there he went, as soon as I moved. But he could probably pop out any of these holes. Let's see if he attacks. Well, how about that? He's got a lot of openings here he could move around to. But I did not expect that. There's an old sink, bicycle. You can see the chimney foundation. There's that tie we saw from above. That's where the porch roof is laying on the ground. You can see the piece of siding pulled off where it would have been attached and just fell off over time. Steps to nowhere. Just noticed another light here. Looks exactly like the one I had already salvaged, and I don't think I ever saw that one there. So I will check back and see if they will let me have that. This is the light I took off of that old house. Shined it up a little bit using it on a project, and I'll show you the project when I'm finished. Don't hold your breath. Okay folks, I guess that's just about all I can share with you today about this old farmhouse over here in Southampton County, Virginia. We found some flying friends today that were not furry, and we also found a furry friend. I really appreciate everyone coming back to watch another video. We should have another one out next week. Hope you can come back and watch that, and hope you will subscribe and share. So take care until next time, and I appreciate it.